guys, and welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, The Bright Side Girl, and today we're going to talk about the future of my book hauls. First of all, if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. If you're not new to this channel, then you guys know that I have a serious book haul situation happening. For those of you that are new, I am able to get books for usually $3 or less, sometimes around $1. There are a lot of libraries near me that have library bookstores connected that people donate books to, and they're not ex-library books. Sometimes they are, but they are mostly books donated from people, and sometimes they're brand spanking new, and the libraries sell them usually for $1 to $2. I've even gotten like 4 for $1 before. I can even find new releases sometimes because there are so many people here in California. Like, the amount of books that are going in and out of the library is just really, really large. Also, same thing with like the Goodwills and the consignment stores. I'm just able to find a lot of books, and there are also just a lot more of the libraries and library bookstores. I have like 4 libraries within about 15 to 20 minutes from me, just because of the way the cities are set up and because the amount of people that are here. So that being said, I rarely ever spend more than $2 on a book, and I kind of even like snub my nose if it's more than $2 because I'm able just to find so many amazing things so quickly. So my book hauls are usually between 20 and 60 books. I'm not kidding. And usually the amount that I spend is around $10 to like $35, which is amazing, and I am super grateful. I do read a lot. I tend to read between audiobooks and physical books around 12 to 20 books a month, so I am going through a lot of content, which is amazing and awesome. And so I'm also really behind on a lot of really popular series, so I tend to like collect things. I recently hit 400 TBR books in 2018. I have 2 videos up about that and unhauling things. I usually donate or trade my books when I'm unhauling or give to friends. Occasionally I sell them if it's something that I actually spent more money on or whatnot. Occasionally I sell them, but more often than not I'm like donating and swapping. I'm a part of a YA trading group, and we often trade books, so I haul a lot that way as well. It's just madness. So that being said, we're going to talk about this because I have those 2 videos up about my TBR situation. So mathematically, if I'm hauling, let's say on average 25 books a month, which I think usually it's more like 30. That means for the entire year, I'm going to be hauling 300 books. 300 books. So that's insane, and I definitely cannot read that many books on top of the fact that I already have 400 books. And usually when I'm hauling things, it's things that I haven't read yet. I very rarely find things that I've already read, purely for the fact that I'm super behind on all these like really popular series, and for some reason the ones that I have read from the library that I really liked, I just can't find. I don't know what's going on. So we're going to talk about some rules and restrictions that I'm going to set up for 2019 going into the future of my book hauls. So I want to say a couple of things first. Like, I don't want to promote book hoarding by any means, and I definitely don't want to promote spending so much on something that your finances are going under duress. If I had to spend more than $2 or $3 on these books, I would not buy this many. I probably would buy very few. I have a book budget. I'm going to talk about book budgeting. I have a book budget video coming out probably in the next month or so. It is very important to me to not waste my money, and if I was buying, 30 books at $5 to $10 a piece, that would be just outrageous to my finances, especially because I'm not reading the exact amount that I'm hauling every month. I would definitely be getting more books from the library or from friends or from audiobooks or whatever it is. I would not be buying this many books if I wasn't able to get them at such a cheap price. Also, I finally have a house, I have an office, I have bookshelves, I have the space to have a lot of books at the moment. I've got it organized nicely, so I like the way that they look. I haven't been feeling as claustrophobic now that I've done my big unhaul. So I'm okay with that, and I'm perfectly fine with having a lot of books that I have read that I love as well. I'm totally fine if that number gets outrageous, because I'd love to have a grand library one day with all the books that I love. I would love the balance to tip from more books that I love than more TBR books. So that that being said, I want to go into 2019. I want to keep doing the big book hauls if it works out that way. If I keep finding amazing deals and amazing books and things I really want to read, then I'm going to keep buying them. I don't want to buy as many books that I'm kind of iffy about. That was what I was doing for a little bit. I was kind of picking up things that I was like, I might like this. I don't want to do that anymore. But if I happen to find 20 or 30 books in a month of things that I've been looking for and have been on my radar, I have no problem with that. You guys love watching the haul videos. I definitely like doing the unhaul videos as well, so I'm totally fine with like rotating my collection. But I do want to put up some guidelines so that I don't wind up with 700 books by the end of 2019. Okay, so the first guideline, like I said, I want to not pick up books that I'm like, I might like this. So whether that means it's been really hyped on BookTube for whatever reason, whether a friend has really pushed promoting it for me, or whether I've done my own research and it's something that I really want, I am totally fine with picking up those kinds of books, but I just don't want to pick up things because only because the cover is kind of pretty. I'll do a little bit of that, but not quite so much, or because I heard about it, or because it's a movie. Like, I want to be a little bit stricter on the books that I'm picking up. Number two is I want to pick up things that I've already read. Like I said, I tend to not find things that I've already read as often as I would like, but I hope in 2019 that I'm able to find more things that I've already read, like at bookstores and library things, and that way I'm not adding to my physical TBR, but just like my book collection. Three, at the beginning of the month, I want to go and purchase something that I have had a hard time finding. I am going to keep my budget for the most part under like $5 on this. And not necessarily like overhyped popular books, but things like pretty Jane Austen. I don't have any of Jane Austen's books in a nice edition, or like Barnes & Noble Leatherbound classics and things like that. I want to go at the beginning of the month before I've spent any of my book budget money and buy one or maybe two books, and that way some of my book budget has already been eaten up. So if I run out quicker, then I run out quicker buying books on a whim rather than like thoughtfully purchasing things that I legitimately want, if that makes sense. Number four is I want to keep sticking to my book budget. I usually have a book budget of around $30, sometimes less, sometimes more, but not very much. I tend to stick pretty good to that, so I want to keep up with that as well. And at number five, one of the main things that I want to do is I want to unhaul a book for every 3 books that I buy. So if I buy 30 books in a month, I'm going to unhaul 10. This is going to be hard on me, but I'm going to do it. So what I'm going to do is I will wait until like 3 or 4 months have gone by, and then I'll do a big unhaul video and show you guys the books that I've unhauled over those 3 or 4 months based on the books that I have hauled, if that makes sense. So that way if I haul 30 books in a month, I'm only hauling 20. Now I'm only going to count the books that are on my physical TBR. So if I buy 3 books that I've already read that I love, I don't have to unhaul my TBR books, if that makes sense. I'm basically trying to keep my TBR list under control. And finally, number 6, I just want to read as much as possible and keep kind of combating this TBR. I have a lot of kids books and a lot of short books that will really help me like knock down that TBR number. I'm not saying that I want my TBR number to be less than it is right now. I just don't want it to be 700 books at the end of the year. So we're just gonna see how this year goes. I might change things up midway, I might change things up at the end of the year, but that is what's happening with my book hauls. So I'll still be doing fabulous book hauls. I'm definitely gonna try not to do 2 book hauls a month, which thankfully I haven't done for several months. It just depends on what I find, and you guys like the hauls as well, so there you have it. Stay tuned for that video on book budgeting and also, of course, future book hauls and unhauls. I'll link any of my unhaul and big TBR videos down below if you guys are interested in watching them. I post videos every Monday and Wednesday and sometimes on the weekend. Let me know if you guys have hauled anything great, or if you guys have things in plan to keep your budget and your sanity TBR pile in control. I'm really curious to know if you have like tips and tricks down below in the comments. And I'll see you guys next time on The Bright Side. Bye!